Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Mindful Monday. My name is Allison Knight, and I am the health coach at Employee Health Center. The last few weeks, we've been talking about another way of knowing, two ways of knowing, so that tuning in directly versus thinking about, as well as the hidden power of thinking and the way that thoughts and feelings are connected. How oftentimes when we are looking at a situation, it's really that underlying emotion or feeling that we are experiencing that affects the way that we interpret a situation instead of seeing that situation the way that it is. We talked about doing body scans again. Daily is really recommended so that you're able to find that tension in those body sensations and pinpoint what is making you feel that way. What is the underlying emotion or feeling? And then last week we did a sitting meditation breathing exercise. And remember, that was done sitting, whether you were in a chair, feet flat against the ground, and sitting upright and erect but not stiff, or sitting on the ground in either kind of a modified lotus position or a kneeling position, but remembering that you are using some type of firm cushion or bench to keep your butt and your hips above your knees. And that was something too that as much as you can incorporating into your daily life. So today this is going to be pretty brief, but we're going to talk about doing a pleasant experiences calendar. So every day this week, I want you to try to acknowledge and be aware of one pleasant experience as it is happening. So there are two ways for this. So you're going to choose what you're paying attention to, and you're also going to choose how you pay attention to it. So focusing on different aspects and separating them out of a certain experience instead of lumping it all into one. While you're going through this experience, this pleasant experience, your first question might be, what is the experience? So the example in our book, heading home at the end of my shift, stopping, hearing a bird sing. That was the pleasant experience. What sensations did you feel in your body in detail? Lightness across my face, awareness of my shoulders dropping, uplift of the corners of my mouth, so turning into a smile. What moods or feelings did you notice? The example being relief and pleasure. What thoughts went through your mind? That's good. How lovely the bird is. It's so nice to be outside. And then what thoughts are in your mind now as you write them down? So in the moment, we want you to ask yourself these questions, and then after the fact, writing down that experience in your pleasant experience calendar and writing, well, what are you thinking about now, thinking back on that experience? And the example is, it was such a small thing, but I'm glad that I noticed it. So being aware and being present in that moment. So you want to try to do the pleasant experience calendar every day, being aware and present in the moment of one experience, pleasant experience while it's happening. So that thinking mindset, knowing by thinking, means that we see things and experiences and situations as blobs, they call them, or I would call them a cluster or a clutter. And we think that things are either good or bad in themselves, and that we have to hang on to or get rid of those things in order to be happy. So that's that doing mindset. Focusing attention on separate aspects of that situation, the body sensations, the feelings, the thoughts, allows us to de-blob or declutter that experience as we constantly shift patterns and we simply know directly into the movement. So this is that being mindset. In a whole, many of us try to tune out unpleasant feelings. We try to bottle them up, ignore them as a mechanism, technique to protect ourselves. Unfortunately, when we do this, we tend to numb out more general experiences, more general emotions, and all of our feelings, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. So by avoiding that unpleasant emotion, we're kind of numbing ourselves to all emotion. So by doing this pleasant calendar, we're starting with the pleasant, but we will have an unpleasant one. We're trying to be aware of the experience and then the emotion attached to it, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. In a depressed state of mind, we focus on the negative and what's wrong. In an anxious state of mind, we focus on what's threatening and dangerous, and so forth and so on. So deliberately looking out for pleasant experiences can retune our attention and open us to many small delights that life has to offer. Small things, noticing those small moments. So I just want to end on a poem from the book that kind of focuses in on what we're talking about. Dreaming the Real. I'm lying down looking at the color of the sky falling through trees, dreaming the real, tasting what it feels like to love it. Why did it take me so long to let go? Simply exhale so the day could breathe itself in and open without me standing in the way. How could I forget the grace of my own body, strong as this blue, tender as the white of the wild blossom, warm as midday light? Let me practice a patience bold enough to hold every weather, trusting the elements, the beauty of rain, all its shades of gray. I want whatever's real to be enough. At least it's a place to begin, and to master the art of loving it, feel it love me back under my skin. Linda France. So taking that poem and your pleasant experiences calendar, I want you to find one pleasant experience today to really be in the moment and present for. And we will talk about it next week. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful and mindful Monday.